I don't really call myself a filmmaker, although that's kind of what I do. I saw editing in particular as an opportunity to express my appreciation for things that are artistic, things that are well shot, things that are well thought out, things that are creatively produced. I was drawn to the business because I have a real love for the arts. Like, I wanted to be a musician or a dancer or something when I was in high school. And I loved movies. My parents loved movies. They used to take us to movies all the time. So I kind of would see things kind of cinematically in my head. I worked a year to save money after college, and then I moved up to LA. It was hugely intimidating. I was so scared that I just took a waitressing job for a couple months just to get used to the place. I just went through the yellow pages and sent out resumes everywhere, and I got one interview and they hired me. And it was a small little place called Canyon Video, and they did these really, really expensive wedding videos. I recognized that I had to always continually grow my skills. For me, it was not easy. The first 10 years were just 10 years of paying dues, doing everything from studio camera to teleprompter to remote sound. Then I got a job at a nonprofit called Earth Trust, and that's where I really started producing and directing and editing documentaries. We did a turtle conservation video at the time. Green sea turtles had these huge tumors on their bodies, and they were endangered and the population was dropping. I even had my grandmother in that piece. She did a voiceover.
Hunter would take me for a ride around the bay, all the way around Chinaman's Hat. Some people don't believe this story, but it's true.
I took the video that we had produced to PBS Hawaii and said, I'd like to reproduce it for broadcast. I was just feeling a little bit more confident. I think the more comfortable I became telling the stories, the better I got at it. I was just fascinated with, the world around me. Skin Stories was an executive production by Pacific Islanders and Communications. They had done research on a bunch of different Pacific Island topics, and this tattoo thing kept rising to the top. The Western style of tattooing actually came from the Pacific Islands. So our job was to get into the heart of the cultural aspect of tatau for the broad audience. I think it did both, though. I think it came out so well that, I think that it instilled a sense of pride for the practitioners.
In 1999, people from all over the world traveled to the islands of Samoa to honor the birthplace of Polynesian tatau.
I think to this day that's my favorite project. For me, working on Pacific Island topics in documentary was rewarding on different levels. To work with Hawaiian topics in specific is close to my heart because I can relate to it in my own family. Well, like Makamaluali'i, the point of that one was to profile the 5 Ali'i Trust organizations that came out of the lives of each of the ali'i that started them.
Bernice Hawaii Bishop. In 1887, the Kamehameha School for Boys opened with 37 students and 4 teachers. The School for Girls opened its doors in 1894.
My grandmother went to Kamehameha schools. So doing the history on that was like almost like doing a family history or learning about my own personal family.
Hawaiian teenage boys are dropped off on deserted islands to colonize them for the United States. Over the next 7 years, the world's most famous woman pilot is lost. World War II erupts, and these young men are forgotten.
Under Jarvis Moon, so blessed that I got to work on that. Looking at the footage and kind of pulling that story together with Noel Kahanu and Heather Juni, it was just really connecting because that era, the 1930s, was like when my dad was a kid. So he, almost could have been one of those boys that went to the islands. It was just really, really important that I do it in a way that respected and honored them. That was paramount, that it come out in a way that would make them proud, that would make them happy, that would make them feel recognized and somewhat, whole in a world where they felt less than. Big documentaries sometimes have enormous amounts of footage. And I've done a lot of projects where just getting it going is so painful and so difficult. And you have to have so much discipline, so much diligence, and so much just like pulling it out, of this material, listening to the material. It's just heart connection, the people on the screen start literally, touching your heart and affecting you. You just have to honor that. It's not about us as filmmakers, it's about them. And we're in this privileged position of being allowed to communicate their stories and put them out there.